Hello everyone. Next we talk about a very common problem when learning English. Improving English learning through theoretical approach. Overcoming anxiety and developing confidence when speaking virtually. Educational problem. Anxiety and lack of confidence. Nowadays, students experience nervousness when speaking in virtual environments. This leads to low participation and reduced engagement during online English learning sessions. Speech barriers. The fear of making mistakes inhibits oral communications because, due to fear of making mistakes, we prefer to remain silent and don't participate in our class.
My name is Catalina Mogollon. This is my presentation. Class contest, virtual English class, online learning environment designed for English language acquisition, vocabulary and description short, forest curriculum, emphasizing word recognition, descriptive language skills, interactive activities, games, audio, audio exercise, and visually learning materials engage student engagement. Applying theories, theories positively in reformance, strategies, and systematic error correction to change learning behaviors. The behaviorist approach was evident when the teacher reports current student responses with express on such as very good or excellent. When someone made mistake in vocabulary or pronunciation, the teacher corrected it immediately and asked the student to repeat the word properly. The second theory, master model, comprehensible input delivery managed the affective failure to reduce anxiety. The monitor model was present when the teacher encouraged students to speak without fear of mistake by lowering anxiety and creating relaxed environment. Learners could focus on understanding messages and communicate it naturally.
Below I share my contribution. Applies theories, sociocultural theories. The sociocultural theories say that we learn by the rote interaction with others. I was applied in class when students worked together, shared ideas, and got support from the teacher to learn as a group. Continue observation. Students sometimes silent where a mistake hesitation. Tutor provides feedback and support.
For the degree, my name is Leonardo Flores, and I'm a student of the Bachelor degree in Foreign Language with emphasis on English at the National Open and Distance University. Now, let's analyze the creating of factors affect learning, especially in the context of language acquisition or communication skill development. Answer blocks participation. First, it's important to understand that answer can be a major obstacle for students. When stress level are high, students tend to avoid actively participating in speaking activities. This limits their opportunity to practice and improve as the fear of making mistakes or being judged can paralyze them. Practice builds confidence. Okay, on the other hand, consist and repeated practice is fundamental to um, increasing student confidence as they are more exposed to activities and have more practice sessions. Their self assurance strengths allow them to speak more fluently and naturally. Safe environment where learning. Okay. Finally, a classroom environment that is safe and supportive is crucial when students feel supported and free from criticism. They are more willing to take risks and experiment with the language or skill they are learning, and this fosters more effective and lasting learning. In summary, to improve learning, it is necessary to minimize pass over many practice opportunities and create the environment where students feel secure enough to express themselves. In my opinion, that's it of the educational problem we analyzed it. Well, here are my proposed solution and assessment methods for the imagine description challenge. What innovative English learning activity would you propose to address the problem? Okay, the innovative activity I propose is the Imagine Description Challenge. This activity directly targets the need for students to use their script vocabulary exclusively adjectives and preposition of place will also practicing structure sentence formation. The innovation lies is using really invalid imaging creator AI like E or being imaging creator to prov- provide quite um unpredictable visual input instantly. Students work in pairs on the script they generated abstract imagine in detail, focusing on accuracy reading, location, and description. Will the partner use a private checklist to verify grammatical correct, correctness. This creates immediately relevant and immediate practice. Okay, what digital tool or resource will you use for this activity? Okay, for this activity, this primary digital tools is an image enhancer AI platforms. I will specifically use being imagine creator because it's a free and very accessible or possibly. And the E, the K is ability to create novel visuals and elements using simple prompts. Additionally, the teacher will need a simple digital resource like a short Google Doc or remade PDF checklist. Okay, to ensure students are accurately perfect the use of preposition and adjective during the project class. Who would you as the impact of this activity on language learning? The impact assessment would the multifaceted, focusing on both acquire and engagement. First, we will use the project checklist as a formative assessment tool by analyzing how often the partner corrects the description used for preposition. Example on, under, next to, behind, and adjectives. We again immediately additional that on structural vocabulary. Second, okay, we will conduct post activity, yeah, post activity, where task. The students will be asked to describe a different AI generated imaging entire entire on their own, and we will score this based on our week, focusing on the desired and acquire of the script vocabulary used. And finally, we will again students engagement toward a quite anonymous survey asking about their perceived confidence in using the script language before and after the challenge, and this table in case in self-responded confidence indicates and positive impact.
Hello, my name is Catherine Valle. In this part, I will talk about some strategies that can help students feel more confident when speaking in English. First, it is very helpful to practice with pictures and words. When students see an image and say the word, they connect vocabulary with real things, and that makes learning easier. Another good strategy is to repeat pronunciation. Repetition helps the students remember how words sound and give them more confidence to speak. Also, it is important to use vocabulary in context. For example, instead of you saying the word apple, a student can make a short sentence like, I like apples. Finally, both teacher and students should participate actively. When the teacher gives example and students practice together, everyone feels more comfortable and motivated to speak. These small activities can reduce anxiety and improve participation in virtual classes. Final reflection. To finish, we can say that the theories help you understand why students sometimes feel anxious or afraid to speak. Confidence and interaction are essential part of language learning. When a student feels safe and supported, they are more willing to participate. By combining different approaches, such as behaviors, the monitor model and sociocultural theory. Teacher can create better environment for learning. Each one gives its useful tools. For example, positive feedback, meaningful input, and social support. In conclusion, using these strategies and theories together help students learn English more effectively and enjoy the process. Thank you.
I will answer the following questions. A. What innovative English learning activity would you propose address this problem? When a creative and engaging way for students to learn English could be to practice this vocabulary, speaking, and reading skills through music. Using songs as an engaging and innovative learning mechanism. Making mistakes and correcting to the rhythm of the music alleviates the fear of making mistakes and helps us gain more confidence when speaking. Right? B. What digital tools or resources would you use for this activity? Websites like LingoClip, Spotify, YouTube, and Sub English. Since these are websites that allow us to enjoy music. They also teach us that making mistakes is normal and helps us cover them. C. How would you evaluate the impact of this activity on language learning? Looking deeper into this activity, we realize that listening to music has a significant influence on our brains. And activity most of our senses. Using music as mechanisms to make English class creative, fun, and different will allow the song to awaken their sense and help them more easily learn to basic skills necessary to understand the language. They will also help us overcome the fear of making mistakes, allowing us to learn from them and advance in our learning.
Answering the question, A. What innovating English learning activity would you propose to address the problem? In proposal would and I hesing way on word wall to help students practice vocabulary, description, show, and speaking in a fun and interactive way. B. What digital tools or resources would you use for this activity? I will use Workball to creating the game and applying points or badges to motivating students. Participation can be through microphone or chat. C. How do you access the impact of this activity on language learning? I would access it by being a student participation, vocabulary use, and speaking confidence during the game.
Feedback and support. Mm, in the question number A, what innovate English learning activity will you propose to address the problem? Mm, I will propose an activity using English videos and songs. In question B, what digital tools or resources would you use it for this activity? Mm, digital tools. I will use it YouTube, lyrics training, and school. Question C. How will you assess the impact of the activity on language learning? Impact evaluation by observing if a student participates more, improve pronunciation, and use a new vocabulary from the video or songs. Thank you.
In my opinion, based on the educational problem we analyzed, here are my proposed solution and assessment methods of the A Imagine Description Challenge. Um, what innovative English learning activity will you propose to address the problem? Okay, the innovative activity I propose is a Imagine Description Challenge. This activity directly targets the needs for our students to use descriptive vocabulary, specifically adjectives and prepositions of place, while also practicing structure sentence formation. The innovation lies is using widely available imaging creator AM, like DALL-E or Big Imaging Creator, to provide inquiry unpredictable visual input install. Students work in pairs. One describes the generate abstract images in details, focusing on acquires reading, location, and description, while the partner use a provided checklist to verify grammatical correctness. And this creates immediately relevant and again practice. What digital tools or course will you use for this activity? Okay, for this activity, the primary digital tools is an Imagine Creator AI platform. I will specifically use Bing Imagine Creator because it's free and very accessible. The key is the AI's ability to create novels, visuals on demand using simple prompts. Additionally, the teacher will need a simple digital resource like shared Google Doc or a pre-made PDF checklist, and the ensure students are accurately verify the use of preposition and adjectives during the press checklist phase. How would you assess the impact of this activity on language learning? Okay, I think the impact access will be multifaceted, focusing on both accuracy and engagement. First, we will use per checking checklist as a formative assessment tool by analyzing who of the partner corrects example 100 next to behind and adjectives we can immediately additional date on structural acquires. Okay, second, we will conduct a post activity right task. Students will be asked to describe a different AI generated image entire on their own, and we will score this based on a rubric focus on descent and acquire of the script vocabulary used. And finally, we will again the student admin folks applied emails survey asking about their um, creative confidence in using the script language before and after the challenge, and this will increase in self-report. Confidence indicates a positive impact. Thank you.
Third question. Okay, what innovate English learning activity would you propose to address the problem? Mm, um, I will propose an activity called Jump with the Frog, Feelings and Confidence Game. In this activity, students play a fun online game in groups using EducaPlay. They answer questions about emotion like, how do you feel today? Or what makes you happy? This activity helps students speak without fear because they focus on the game, not in making mistakes. It's playful and safe way to build confidence in speak English. Two questions. What digital tools or resources will you use for this activity? Um, to answer. I will use EducoPlay to create the frog game because it is interactive and easy for young learners. Also, I will use the project that show the game to the world class and flashcard to review emotion before playing. This material make the class more visual and dynamic, helping students participate and enjoy learning. Third question. How will you use in the impact sorry, of the activity on language learning? Third answer. I will assess the impact by watching how students participate and speak during the game. If they use more English words, smile, and show less nervousness, it means that activity is working. At the end, I call also ask them how they felt playing and speaking in English. They are when elsewhere, and their reaction will show if they are gaining confidence and improving.